I don't even need 3 yet, I'm already worn out. This is the hardest part. Once you get there, it's like, bread and butter, as long as nothing goes wrong. Everything planned. So everything goes well, it should be nice and easy.
And then everyone freezes up.
Where's some wood at? Here's some fake wood here. Not some wood.
I'll double check.
Then after this, we're going to buy underwear.
And if it's still broken when I get home, I'll yell at you.
Your plan, you're not gonna
That's what I do.
Oh, the plan? I don't know.
I yell at you
I
a
will
lot.
see.
I'm getting a haircut.
I'm definitely not getting a haircut.
Because you
That
beat
part-
mom! Oh,
That part of the plan is definitely out. I'm gonna just...
You're a constant disappointment to me. And the family.
Did you end up going to that thing in the mission last night?
Yeah, and actually, it's really funny.
Why wash clothes?
My
You can just buy-
laundromat closes at 9.
What kind of laundromat closes at
In
9?
Inner Richmond, all Inner Richmond laundromats close at 9. So instead of washing my clothes, I go and buy new clothes. Dude, you're not actually thinking about wearing pants in LA, are you? That's retarded.
I'm bringing long pants and shorts. Like, I imagine that, like, if I end up going to any of those parties, I'll bring a pair of jeans just so I have them.
There you go.
I'm gonna go all shorts all the time.
Not a...
I'm gonna shave this into a Fu shoot. Sweet.
Dude, do it.
What's up,
They
Greg?
know where Greg is?
They're all
all
meetings,
in
but
some
we don't know
sort
where
of
the hell they
senior
went.
meeting.
It's all very Illuminati. I don't know.
Super secret sweet.
Is he leaving straight from?
Oh, is he coming here to meet up with us, or?
I don't know.
No, actually, we seen him earlier. But
What do you know, Jim? Better than last time.
that's true. We're doing all right. I need everybody possible to get the gym.
Is that how we're recouping our expenses?
Yes.
You coyotes.
All right, what else can we fit on this cart?
Hey, you guys didn't see Ricardo today, right?
No, not
No.
yet.
Can I grab some stuff from
Well, we're here now. Stop pointing out my foibles on camera.
All right,
You see?
Yes, I did just say foibles.
So the calm before the storm, I guess you could say. Eye of the hurricane.
Is Ryan here yet?
Yes.
It is. I don't know where he went.
Actually,
he was here with
maybe
the
Jim and I can just carry this down and somebody else can wheel us down.
Craig, did you get enough controllers for all the game systems?
I got 4 for each.
Okay, you're good then.
I got 4, so that's 2 apiece on the stage show.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Most difficult part is setting up the show. Once the show gets going, you don't have time to think about things that go wrong. What could go wrong? You just go with it.
Let's just grab the rest of these bags. I think we can shove all those in my truck, no problem. Done. Shoulder strap a couple of these. Bang these around real heavy.
What happened to the back of your neck?
I was probably scratching it. My skin's real splotchy today for some reason.
Nervous?
Maybe a little. You may do that, like.
Waiting for time.
We're good. We got here like 9:15.
Nah. We bringing these monitors, Dave?
No.
Okay. Then they will serve as a suitable cookie tray.
Just set the building on fire.
Fantastic.
It's always best to start the fire from the ground up.
So your agenda here is just to fill up your truck as fast as we can so that it's full and we can go.
Pretty much.
You guys want good cookies?
Oh.
Tell me if they're any good.
My attitude.
It's always hard to sleep the night before these things. It's exciting.
Right on.
My monitor, or Marty's monitor.
Good breakfast.
I feel like Bud.
It's not nervousness, it's more excitement, because it's finally going to start. It's finally here. Spent so much time preparing for it, and it's over before you know it. So this is probably like the last cognizant moment of the next week for me.
Hello, welcome to E3. Magical.
His machine is packed. We have his monitor.
This is his monitor. He's got a box with his stuff on it that's labeled. So his stuff should get down there nicely.
You haven't talked to the data guys, have you? I'm not sure how
not
they're
all
getting
the
their
way.
shit down there.
Brian called me at like 9, that he was just getting in to see something up here, pick up
behind that. Crush you alive. It's okay, I'm used to it.
Craig seems to be the master over there on the main cargo van, though. He's got the Lego background, I think.
Yep. I highly recommend one of those cookies.
I can't believe I did not fucking put my PSP in my bag.
Hey, like I said, we got the time.
That's what you get for rushing me.
I didn't rush you.
That's what you get for rushing me.
Your mother.
Stop yelling at me.
Why are we fighting?
Alright, so there's a little bit of room right here.
How about this?
Slide it in.
I kind of just have to be myself up there, I guess, you know?
Watch your cord. It's my 11th year in a row going to the show, and every year it's like... it's just wild. You'll see.
That's our boss man there, Ryan McDonald, coming through.
No, I still gotta get a haircut.
Robert? I packed your stuff already.
Oh no, I have a license. Yeah, I totally have a license. It's just that the rental car company doesn't think that my driving record is good enough to get a car.
I got shotgun.
So you can't get used to that environment entirely. So which makes it really exciting, actually.
As I walk around, the XL1 was just sitting in the studio still.
But again, I do sort of feel like I'm going there for the first time every time.
It's like, there's the checklist. How come?
Welcome to the future.
How about I just take us to the corner of Crenshaw and Slauson and we see what happens?
Continue on the current road.
Computer says continue on the current road. I'll have been here 10 years in October.
Is it 10 or is it 9?
Oh, maybe it is 9. Because it was.
Okay, yeah.
Was it Christmas '96 that? Yeah, I guess it had to have been. Yeah. So okay.
Gamespot launched in May of '96. Oh, and we missed our birthday once again.
So 9 years then. The three guys that started GameSpot are Vince Brody, Pete Deemer, and John Epstein.
They could see the future. They could see that online was going to kill print at some point.
They kind of got tired of the print world, as I understand it, and decided to kind of venture off into their own to start a video game website. And they launched a PC-centric site called GameSpot.
It was sort of a revolutionary concept. It's like you had these well-established print publications that you had to pay money for, but you know what? Screw them. You could just go to GameSpot and get a bigger, more detailed, timelier review for free.
Ryan McDonald, who's the head of GameSpot Live now, was brought in to do like strategy guides and codes and things like that.
Long story short, I was doing freelance work for Game Informer magazine at the time. I was their West Coast correspondent. Dumb luck, my buddy called me up on the phone and was like, hey, yo, have you ever heard of this thing called the internet and GameSpot? I was like, no. He's like, you should totally talk to this new dude named Vince Brody. And so sure enough, I talked to Vince for a little bit, and then he took me over for a cup of coffee, and he offered me a job on the spot.
GameSpot was at a much higher level than other gaming sites from day one. I remember because it was my competition when I first saw it.
That was around for a few months, and then they kind of got it in their heads that they wanted to launch a console-focused site as well, and that's where I came in.
The founding principle was Vince from the start. I remember hearing him say it. I mean, I can still hear it today. Think about what, you know, if you were on that other end, what would you want to find if you wanted to know about a game? And so that's what we try to do every day.
Straight facts, you know, straight facts and thoughts.
It was a pretty forward-thinking concept, and it was founded on respectable principles.
We say it all the time, the games are the stars. So that's why when you come to our site, it's you know, it's all about the gameplay.
And that let us be very, like, pretty different with the tone and just kind of how we operated, how we wrote our reviews.
There are a lot of good games out there, but there are probably even more, you know, probably even more worse games than good games. So definitely a minefield for bad games, and that's what we try to do. We try to make it so that you don't have to waste your money.
A week after I started officially, I moved over to the GameSpot Live team, and it was just me and Ryan at that time, and we had 1 month to basically start GameSpot Live from scratch.
We try to tell you about something as you know, as down to earth as we possibly can. We don't try to, you know, we don't try to sell you anything really. You know, we're just there because we all love to play games. We play them every day. We play them every night, and that's
All right.
you know, that's what we do. And it's just we're just really lucky that we get to do that and get paid for it. It's not.
Del Taco and its attachment to E3 predates GameSpot in a lot of ways. It was me and Ryan McDonald and always, you know, just some other tag-along people going to E3.
Del Taco.
So we'd always stay on Venice Beach and just we would always be eating a Del Taco because it was the only place you could get it was Southern California.
It's the only problem. Serving sizes are so huge. So you want to get the burrito and the hamburger, but you can only really go so far.
It just kind of became synonymous with the trip to Southern California. It was like, all right, we got to stop at a Del Taco because they have tacos and hamburgers, and that's insane. And the tradition just kind of somehow expanded and expanded to where now we're dragging the entire staff to Del Taco. Though the interesting happening is that over the last year, now there's a Del Taco in San Francisco.
Which kind of ruins it.
Which kind of ruins it. Like if we skipped it this year, I wouldn't be all that bummed out because I'm kind of done with it. I'm kind of over it. But here we are. So it is on.
The funny thing is, like, I always think it's not gonna live up to expectations by the time I get here. And then I get here and I start eating it and it's like,
Screw you. You
Buy
guys
it. No, buy it. No,
bought.
we did.
It's purchased.
Good.
We're gone.
I want updates, text message updates from the road about how awesome it is.
Here's the first one. It's awesome.
Good, thank you.
E3 is the Electronic Entertainment Expo. It's the game industry's biggest consumer trade show of the year. It's basically the event in which every major player in the game industry gets together and shows off the big stuff they've got coming up.
It originally spun off of the Consumer Electronics Show.
This is going to be the 11th year for the show.
I just remember just walking into the place and just being overwhelmed with, you know, all these games everywhere. You know, it's like a little kid's dream.
The game business is very cyclical, where they launch hardware with a series of games, then those games get better and better over the course of the cycle. They start to look a little stale towards the end, and then sure enough, here's some new hardware to start the whole thing all over again. And these transition years are interesting because they aren't necessarily always focused on the games, and that's what this year's show is really going to be.
But this year, it's, you know, all about what are we going to find out, you know, with the PlayStation 3 and the Revolution, if anything, and if there's anything more to find out, you know, about the Xbox 360.
It's been kind of all about the press conferences. You go to Nintendo's press conference, you see, you know, those new games for the first time. I remember seeing, you know, Mario 64 being demoed for the first time, and that was amazing. I remember that moment. That was definitely a moment I'll never forget.
Microsoft's going to be showing off the Xbox 360, which it's been showing off for the past, you know, week or two in various forms. And then, you know, it's up to Sony and Nintendo to kind of respond to what Microsoft has already put out there with what they're going to do for the PlayStation 3 and the Revolution.
The Xbox 360, you know, has obviously already been announced with the MTV special. With Sony and Nintendo, everybody's expecting to hear at least something about it, but nobody knows how much. You know, will we see the actual units? Will we see full specs? Will Nintendo give a full name for it, the console? You know, right now it's like the code name is Revolution, and that's all we really know about it. As far as the game everybody wants to see and play going into the E3,
there's one big game right now anyways, and that's Zelda.
But it seems like, you know, this is definitely the year where the focus is going to start to shift over. So this year's show and next year's show are going to be very much focused on new hardware and the new technology and the new games that, you know, take advantage of this technology.
We're at the transition between the current generation of the PS2 and the Xbox and the Nintendo GameCube and the next gen.
I hear gunshots all the time where I live. You know. So we just wanted to get over there.
Walk the dog. That might be. You guys kicked ass, huh? Thanks, buddy. Nice job. Yeah. Now, where do I get my badge in here?
This is the convention center. This is the Gamespot booth in its current state. They're still building a great deal of it.
Yeah, it's Saturday night, so we have, what is it, 4 days until the show even begins technically. So it's quite complete considering the show is still days away.
We are up and running now. We're just configuring all the routers for the correct IP addresses. And we'll have these guys up and running any minute now. Damn it. Yeah. We're ready to go.
VPN path? Yeah, hold on.
The entire show's booked except for those 2 slots. They're going to tell us who they're going to put in.
Yeah.
But those are all Nintendo slots, and they promise. We could have Zelda on the show twice.
So the tomorrow night Zelda thing is on, huh?
Yeah.
One of the decks that they gave us is not the one that we ordered.
I'm gonna have you talk to him.
Oh, sure.
So you know more.
Sure.
His name is.
So we'll really be able to get like feed of the game and that.
We should. I was told to come prepared.
Yeah.
And
Pretty much just going to be running around, playing as many games as I can, rushing back to the booth, writing up some impressions, and then get out there again.
I got help. You know, by chance, remember the model number, the one that is ours, the one that we want?
Right there.
Oh,
Just look at it at the front. AJ 1200, like that. AJ 1700.
Of course, mine says not verified.
I mean, this is a pretty sweet spot, really. It's like this is our first year with a new booth design and in a new spot. We've got our stage kind of facing Sony, and then there's Nintendo right there. So it's really, it's kind of where you want to be.
Not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good.
He might know. Yeah.
So we'll ask him. He'll be in here in a few minutes.
Is there soda or water dispenser in here?
Do you have Freddie's number on your
I think I do, actually.
I mean, I thought I would stick you with that.
I could do Sony.
Let me do it exactly with PS3.
Yeah.
PS2.
Yeah.
Q1 in Japan.
Q4 in here. That would be some serious fucking business. I mean, they have to move it up.
And we got like pretty much all day tomorrow to figure it out, so really, this is probably the furthest I've seen. It's gonna look like that on camera too, but you see that backdrop of selling Nintendo too? That's gonna be that motherfucker's gonna trip. They're gonna have a trip.
Seems like it's a design flaw in the tools.
Yes, basically.
Because the tools should catch that and not allow that to happen.
So, is the song Ghostbusters playing, or is that just in my head?
No, I think Ray Park is staying here.
Today is in a lot of ways like the calm before the storm. It's for Gamespot Live, it's a lot of still setting up and preparing.
Today,
Okay.
if we can.
Whenever something fucks up, think about a way that a robot could have solved your human inadequacies.
Right. By enslaving the entire race.
It's all about fucking becoming the cyborg.
If we have the...
It's been a long time in the coming, developing the discipline of just how to present this stuff well. It's really a big challenge.
Right back there. Shove my bags back here.
There's not a ton of room back here, but.
Marco, baby. Only place to have breakfast. Country fried potatoes and some ghetto ass chicken. Only way to start off Hell Week here at Eat Beef. Yeah. Good shit.
worried about are the live segments. That's all. The demo? Oh, no, live segment. Oh, yeah, no, that's for sure.
Yeah, those
no,
are
that is
totally worried about.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a healthy, good thing to be worried about. We should be set.
Yeah, you just gotta tell me who and I'll tell him this happened.
Okay. What day is it?
Oh, day one.
Yeah, alright. That sounds fun.
I know. I don't know.
When we were driving down here, we were talking about, you know, some of the unknowns and what we were hoping to hear about, specifically for the PS3 and the Revolution. Revolution, we're still not sure about exactly how much they're going to show, but PS3, at least we know that they are going to show stuff now. Like, there's going to be a Koei game, and there's going to be some stuff that they're going to show. It'll be a big question for everybody until it happens at the press conference. Nobody knows. I mean, we're the only ones. So, that's cool.
Oh, back here. Oh, yeah. The second crew from the office arrives, which mainly includes development, design, and the production teams. There was no need for them to be here yesterday. Their job will just be to make sure graphics are done. If anything's wrong with the database during the show, to fix it. Just little production, things, the custom graphics you see on Gamespot, the top slots, and the box cars. We have a dedicated team just for that stuff, and they're here to help us out.
Tilted up on the side and all that? You know what it is?
Here we go. I'm watching. Exactly what I need.
Little bit that I was waiting on edit for was put their stuff in. And they put all their stuff in, so now I can kind of build live stage show appearances that the editor's gonna make around that. And that's what I just did in this last button when I hit save.
So, it's getting pretty hectic in the office.
It's like a hands-free set for my cigarette. Keep you further away from the cigarette, it's better for you.
Monday's all about the press conferences. Basically, up to this point, it's been kind of like theory and pre-E3. Today, even though the show doesn't start till Wednesday, is kind of the first day of the real deal.
Pick up where we left off. There's still some outstanding bugs and stuff. The whole crew is here now. Yesterday, the last of the team was showing up.
It's going to save us quite a bit of trouble today, because today is when the Sony and the Microsoft press conferences happen. So giant bombs are going to drop.
Cool.
You're wasting your time coming to this.
Were you supposed to be on the list?
You're either on the list or you're not. It's almost cool. It's almost cooler to not be on the list but still get it.
All you guys are fine. You're covered on the list. For some reason, Jeff isn't, so I got to work on him. Okay. Here's this for you. Okay. And then here's
For my bench. Okay, I'll get my bench.
We'll do your thing. So you're fine. Right now we're getting Jeff. We're getting Jeff's badge.
E-N-G-E-L. Okay.
Just took a little bit of work.
Jeff, she's gonna make it right now.
Expecting Sony to say they're getting out of the console.
Hey!
There's genuine excitement, I think, because one of the things is that Sony's been way too quiet.
All set.
Right on.
Don't know what to expect of this, but we'll see in 5 minutes.
I can't fucking wait, dude. Like, seriously. This is the most excited I've been about a press conference in years. I can't think of, like anything that's been, like, the very first Xbox one was super exciting. And, fuck, yeah, this is gonna be as real as it gets.
I think the best example, I think Greg's given it, but there's a Simpsons episode where, like, the Yakuza are having a fight on the lawn, and Homer's excited because there's a little white guy in, like, a suit that's just standing with his arms crossed, and he's not doing anything, and he's convinced that when the little dude does something, it's gonna be amazing. And this is like the dude in the white suit.
Awesome. Yes. I'm excited.
So, you know, I think there's actual genuine excitement, and it's really easy to get jaded at press conferences, but it started.
It's been said the best way to protect the future is to invent it. Ken Kutaragi and his team at Sony set out to invent a different future.
Good afternoon and welcome to...
Yeah. And it was the hardest thing to walk away from, in all honesty. Now we're gonna go set up for Microsoft to get that going.
What kind of car do you drive?
It's an Expedition. That makes sense to you?
Well, y'all the first ones to come up here, so.
Oh, okay.
Now I know what to tell the other.
And I have a dream. So, PlayStation 3.
Bro, Star Wars Galaxy is completely fucked up. It's complicated, it's dedicated, it's entire income, basically.
This is the only gate open.
I thought we had to get this one unlocked again. But that one.
It's unlocked.
I have a jacket.
Chris, checking right here. Yeah, cool. What the issue was that we'd like to get
Gamespot, Gamespot.
Gamespot should be red too.
It's an Android camera that's connected directly into PlayStation 3. Rick, that's amazing. Thank you very much indeed.
So I guess we're gonna start. Okay. Go ahead, Ryan. There you go.
Red or what?
Red. Where's the HD chat box?
He'll take care of it for you.
Fellas?
And right now, I'm leaving a little bit early. Craig and Trevor will be hustling out of here with a set of laptops that have the Sony press conference on them, ready to be streamed. Okay, I'll stay right here.
Getting the feed so we can make sure we have this webcast.
I'm outside the gate and to the right of it.
You guys what?
Gamespot?
Right on.
How you doing?
Doing all right. How you doing?
Good. You can't sit here in the middle of the street.
Okay.
If you're picking up wherever you're going, you got to go to the other side on Culver.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys got a good show planned for us?
Oh yeah.
Right on.
You guys want to tell me what happened at the Sony briefing?
Yo, quick change of plans. I'm actually just currently sitting directly across from where you guys will come out.
Oh, really? We were only there for like the first 5 minutes, and then we hit raced over here after we got our stuff set up with the other guys.
Fuck you. me a laptop and a power inverter.
You know which one's the HD?
The cop was pissed at you.
HD?
Yeah. So they were saying you guys are going to provide an HD feed?
I didn't understand we were providing an HD feed.
Oh, yeah?
That ran forever.
What are you looking to do, Craig? Just turn the file down?
Yeah, I'm looking for a fucking file editor. There's no hot link to it.
Messy. It's confusing me.
We're trying to get all these videos out so we can put them up so people can watch just the videos and not the whole boring conference. Actually, I shouldn't say that.
I'm about to freak out, dude.
It's about 8 minutes long, so 121, 28.
I'm surprised. You know, I was expecting them to come out and be like, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna release the PS3 demos or something, and that's it. But they blew it. It makes this much more interesting to see what Microsoft can pull out of their ass to counter that.
His rebellious ways, they really save the day. What he's about, scenes from zombie house.
Once he gets there?
The future robot man, something like
Go!
How, in a word, how was it?
Awesome. We already have the press conference cut, the demo.
Don't talk.
I need to word.
Shut up.
Internet connection.
It's gonna support 7 controllers via Bluetooth. Oh. 7.
What's 7 all about?
Yeah, I don't remember. And then there's like all video chat. They showed this.
That one is a delayed audio, so I can capture the stuff and put it up as regular.
What is it?
All the trailers.
Yeah, cut them individually. Trevor, tell me when your press conference is uploaded. That goes first. Is it uploading? What's up?
They showed this one game where it's like up in the corners, a picture of you like from the camera. You're talking to the characters on screen like, okay, go over here. The characters are like, okay, we'll go over there. And it's gonna have 2 HDPI outputs, so you can have 2 high-def monitors and put them together to have a panoramic screen, where you can have the game on one screen and like video chat screens on the other.
Oh wow!
I'm capturing the first footage of PlayStation 3 games.
Hey Greg, what's the password
It's pretty
for the
crazy
Gamespot
stuff.
login?
Look, gun number.
You have it here?
No, I just gave it.
Capital T, capital X, 2, 6, capital I, capital O.
It was like every time they said something, we'll be like, holy shit, that's really cool. And then the next thing they say, it'll be like,
I just posted the Sony press conference.
Get ready to promote the hell out of that thing.
The press conference itself is on the site. It's on the home page, it's on the E3 page, it's on the PSP page. Watch it, learn about it. Thank you, Craig Beers.
Good job, Craig.
The man.
That's insane.
I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk with you right over there. I'll help you carry
That's
some
awesome.
stuff.
So much.
That's crazy.
$149.99 actually.
That I will
Yeah.
believe. That I will believe. You.
I need
So we have it-
art for promotional stuff. I can't do anything without those screen caps.
Can we screen grab that shit? The game trailers?
Not off this.
Okay.
I'm taking screenshots.
This is a huge night for Xbox. I give you the future of gaming.
Xbox 360. Feel the experience.
It's a future where I am always at the center of a world of experiences that include my games and my friends.
So right now is probably the busiest I'm going to be at the show.
So stop talking to him.
Please welcome Robbie Bob, Jay Allen, and Ethan Moore.
A product of games at its core, surrounded by limitless, connected digital entertainment. And tonight,
back
that guy.
Oh, you know, I don't know. It's easy to be real kind of swept up by all the PS3 stuff, but I don't know. Let's see what the reality is.
The reality is they announced big games that have people excited.
Yeah.
And that's the part that Microsoft has not accounted for.
It's about customization, personalization, making your page, your online identity, your Xbox 360, what you want it to be. That's what's cool. Oh, come on, Mom.
Damn. Dude, that shit looks so good.
Man, does a lot of that shit look real good.
I'm buying one. I'm buying one right now. If I could, I'd buy it right now.
It's crazy. It is real crazy right now. Between this and Microsoft going on right now, it's just like you can see like just the pissing contest unfold in front of you, and it's really something.
The problem is that Microsoft has not, I mean, when they announced all this Xbox 360 stuff, there was no game for you to go awe about.
Dude, there was like no game, period.
Yeah.
They've got me intrigued into the Killzone universe again, because the first game sure as hell didn't do it. But yeah, it 2 really looks like that when you play it. Oh, shit.
Shit. Damn it. Damn it. Sony is gonna rule the world, dude. Ridiculous. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous.
Nothing really new that we hadn't seen before.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I think the console itself is amazing. I think it looks great. I think the feature set for the console itself is really good.
Oh god, I want to...
Alex, you need those brains for later.
Sony was amazing. That was the most epic press conference I think I've ever been to.
Sony had been the wild card for this E3. They've been very quiet. They hadn't said anything about anything. And then their conference just shocked everyone because, oh, I'm sorry, hold on a second. This is Ricardo.
What am I staring at? I'm not staring at anything.
It's the site, Alex. Remember where you work?
No.
Where you write physical stories for people?
They'll be lucky to sell as many 360s as they did the original Xbox. This time,
yeah, we'll see. It's
total
like,
domination.
It's like features-wise, I can't help but love the Xbox. It's like all the stuff,
It's
other
just
than
not
the game
powerful
stuff,
enough,
sound. You know, it's like it almost sounds like good ideas.
It just doesn't have enough hope.
Yeah.
These things are all about appearance, you know? And I think that Microsoft, they did some cool things for appearance. I mean, they verified that Square Enix is a developer for them, which is really good. They've never developed on the Xbox before, that's always good. You know, they showed off some really cool new content from EA, and that's all cool. But I think it was a little too low-key compared to Sony's press conference. Because, I mean, Sony just like, volume, baby. It's a ton of stuff.
And it's funny because it's not even Tuesday, it's Monday. It's still like at least 36 hours until the show starts. And we've probably just seen the apex. But as far as just news and information coming out of the show, that was it. That was the peak. That was all the biggest stories just happened. Anything else is going to be second tier to this.
Oh, were you at Sony?
No.
Oh, shit, watch it on the side.
What?
You need to watch the Sony press conference. They roll out a ton of shit.
Are they gonna show them?
You guys watch that shit and you tell me.
It's all about being first in the world of journalism. Same thing with us. It's all about being the first time that we show people that PlayStation 3 experience, and we were the first people to show them the video of it moving with those games. So.
intersection of Hollywood and Highland in Hollywood. Let's go.
Wait, are we going to the Nintendo thing?
Yeah.
Wasn't it the Highland exit?
No, Hollywood, you go down to Highland.
Yeah, I got here really early actually.
How early?
Hey, how are you?
That's true, but I hate to resort to that. It's worked for me.
We're waiting for the Nintendo press conference to start, and so there's guys in the back screaming it live, and there's a group of us out here watching the action. It should be pretty big.
I have a question for you. Who's your daddy? She's quite nice.
Well, Mr. Miyamoto, I think our dogs have become very good friends. Very good friends.
It's Game Boy Micro. A new experiences for our next Nintendo console. Well, we've got them.
Hold on just a second. How you doing? Good. Grab the B-rolls back there. They're getting packed up, so they're gonna run out. Okay.
I mean, they didn't really have that much here to show, to be honest, comparatively. So I mean, I guess I don't know if they're trying to hold back, or they're just trying to be, or the technology hasn't advanced that far yet.
The Nintendo press conference is always kind of different than the other two, but there's always like a very big fan element at the Nintendo press conference. There seems to be like genuine affection for Nintendo's history, and it's like, why shouldn't there be? It's like so many of us grew up with that stuff. It's like kind of the mirror image of Link and Legend of Zelda, and some of those franchises still kind of send a tingle up my spine. Like you kind of feel, the back of my head kind of get all tingly. It's like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
And now you've seen, Sony's next gen console, Microsoft. So, and what do you, how do you think the Revolution's going to stack up to that?
No, Revolution, I think will have really no problem standing up to them. It's interesting to us that Sony spent so much time focused on technical specs. It's like they threw in the kitchen sink trying to compete with Microsoft. So, for us, we're going to have plenty of power and plenty of capability in the Revolution, but the real thinking and the real value comes in the creative game development, and that for us is what's really going to separate the three consoles.
They didn't show games or tech demos or anything that really kind of showcased exactly what the Revolution's going to be. It's like they showed a box, they said it's going to play all these old games. It's like, of course we know what that all is, but what's the new stuff going to be like? That is still a mystery.
Those are probably a bevy of women for the never ending. What can you do?
Can't handle the cognitive dissonance of this thing. Cognitive dissonance, I love it.
Yeah, what was it? 3 what?
3.2, 3.6.
3.6 million?
Oh. Being a player like me, this is the only way I travel. I bring my entourage. I let them go see what Nintendo's all about real quick. Then we're gonna bring them over to the Gamespot.
Yeah, I believe so. So
got us in trouble a little bit with Nintendo, but I think we got it all cleaned up.
There it all was, stretching back to my childhood.
Just send Adam the stories and
Yeah.
you can look into
Okay.
it.
Okay.
But this is a really good start.
We're serving 8,000 movies per second.
We get the light box plugged in.
It's just insane the amount of traffic we're pushing, and we haven't even uploaded the Nintendo press conference or the Zelda video yet.
Did you get all this?
We're getting down to the jumpy time. We have our first live broadcast is happening in 8 hours. The press conferences are over. All the editors are in crunch mode. This evening, yes, I will be on stage, pimping out the new Gamespot gear. 6.8 is an inside joke that predates my time at Gamespot.
New features that we roll out, new designs, new pages. I don't want to see my favorite video games become movies because I love video games for what they are. Basically, Mexico's landfill consists almost entirely of unused ET cartridges, or so the saying goes.
Oh, the significance of 6.8?
Well, here's the shirt.
That's probably more Jeff's domain than my own. He would be able to speak about it more insightfully and eloquently.
And, you know, Frank gave a game a 6.8 back in the day, and it caused a big stir, and the numbers kind of been synonymous with excitement ever since. But maybe Frank should just tell you the story.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's awesome.
It's notorious because it's the score that we gave to a game called Shenmue.
I played it. I didn't like it as much as many other people did.
He thought it was all right, but he thought it was flawed.
We put it online and everybody got angry.
And we got a huge amount of hate mail for it.
And they all kind of just kept pounding on me, and then eventually I got pulled into a room and said, we should change this score. And I was like, I don't think that's such a good idea. No, we're gonna change it.
We actually buckled under the pressure, and
we got Frank on the phone, talked it over, and eventually made the decision to change the score, which was unheard of.
We didn't change any of the text, we just knocked the score up to like appease these people who are so angry. I had nothing to do with that. I stand by my scores and I don't change my scores.
I actually think Shenmue is probably worth about a 6.8.
Yeah, 6.8 sounds about right.
Yeah.
I say that was then and this is now, and that we don't bow to pressure from angry fans for anything, though we appreciate critical feedback for what it's worth.
Oh, by the way, we're selling the shirts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Gotta do a live show tonight, starting at midnight.
And that's what we want to do over the next like 5 hours, basically until 11 o'clock. We want to figure out where all the holes are. The first stop is going to be the editor on the hour spot.
6 million streams today. We have 2.3 at 8 a.m. this morning.
What are people watching?
I haven't looked at that part. I don't care about that part.
Stop. So all these guys that you see, their big faces on the side of the glass over there, those are the guys that we have scheduled to be at the top of every hour. Handheld camera for that, so that we can come back to that cool shot of you with the jib coming down onto the stage for the first shot, and then we talk for the 5 minutes, the game's roll over, and then boom, moving on.
You guys mind sitting there for a second?
Check.
Hi, Greg. What's up, Homer? How you doing?
The countdown to E3 broadcast. Coming on to midnight when like our site explodes with stories of movies and screenshots of new games.
Once it's showtime, it's showtime. Hey!
It's 11:45. Ryan, what do we have?
Kick in right as soon as the clock hits 12 midnight. We're going to show you all the stuff that we've been keeping secret for weeks and months now.
They didn't show playable, so there's no way of knowing.
So the one thing I've been dying to see and I haven't got a chance to.
Yeah, they showed a new trailer for kind of a return to the walk around, meet people at Forum.
Come back tomorrow at 10 a.m. when our live coverage of 2005 officially kicks off.
It's always spontaneous. We're always thrown into it. You know, it's like a storm and it's great.
I should bail because I gotta make sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be on.
From here, I just get to coast downhill, so I'm kind of stoked about that. I might actually get to go to a party.
I'm going to be a floater this morning, sort of just roaming the floor and trying not to get knocked down a lot.
Today's Wednesday, it's the first day of the show. It's time to just go out there, see the games, and write them up, make sure everything is covered for our readers. So it's go time, basically. Let's go.
Look at it. You scrutinize it for a while because they're scrutinizing yours.
Jared, you
pay attention. You're right outside.
All right, well, you have a good show, man.
Yeah, you too, man. So we'll hook up later. Absolutely.
Clean up for the prom.
Yeah.
The whole internet is down right now. So the entire West Hall is down internet-wise right now, even though we're on our own separate line. So either they lied to us about that, or there's been some sort of thermonuclear disaster. Magnetic pulse took everyone out. I don't know. I believe the latter. West side ain't down. West side. No, down the entire hall is down.
We're ready to roll, but the internet's not.
Hopefully get that internet connection up fast, because it's Wednesday morning, and without that, we're pretty much pointless.
40 minutes for the power to solve these things.
How dare you, sir?
Is Mac here?
Not yet.
Other than no internet, it's pretty good so far.
Yeah.
E3 is subject to Murphy's Law, and this is just an example.
It's sort of an E3-wide thing. I don't think it's just us.
And from talking to other people, it sounds like it's cramping other people's style as well.
You know, I just feel like I walked into a classroom. You know, everyone looks so serious.
Good morning, Mr. Bride. I talked to our IT guy. He said that we're looking at about 45 minutes before we're up.
Over 42 million pages yesterday, so that's by far and away the all-time record.
Which, if that estimate is correct, should be plenty of time. So, not quite time to start sweating it yet.
So, thank you all very much.
First hour of the show is guaranteed. Okay. Nintendo just walked over, scoped out the place.
Well, the best way that you could prove that to me is, why don't you just show me Halo 3 and it looking as good as Killzone 2? Right. Then I'll get one.
That's part of my identity as a person and a gamer.
The message they clearly had, and we have to move beyond the core gamer. You know, we love the core gamer. We got to go beyond them, and I just think that's.
Oh, you're a gamer? I'm a gamer. Oh, that's great. Perhaps if you were to allow me to market to you. It is a part of my lifestyle. That's fantastic.
That can be your strategy, but when you say that explicitly, you really run a risk of people being like, hey man, you know, I'm just going for the best games. All this other stuff, I don't really know.
I have some excellent products that are part of the gamer lifestyle. I love Scion. You like some energy beverages and absolutely. This Red Bull is delicious.
Exactly. It's just like, I'm interested to see how it plays out.
They just told me that they thought they were going to bring fists, but they're not going to bring roots. Is that a problem?
Drink it up. How about some methamphetamine? Please.
Excellent!
With GameSpot, Ron said it's going to be about games.
Yeah. We'll stand or we'll live or die by the game.
There's the traffic.
Joe, and the network's still down. It's been down for like an hour. They're running around, and it's just, you have to absorb a lot. So it has to be a quick burn.
Right now what is happening is that there is no internet in the West Hall. It is 9 o'clock, bearing down on 9:05, bearing down on 10 o'clock, which is when the show opens, and it's starting to mess up our day.
Let's not get cocky because the first half of the week went well.
We have stuff that needs to be getting promoted at 10 o'clock.
The internet's gone. It may or may not come back soon.
We have a live show that's supposed to happen at 10 o'clock, and if we don't have internet then, that is a severe issue.
Frankly, I've heard as late as 2.
So I am preparing to head back to the hotel where we do theoretically have internet.
The show is still going to go on. We could still do the show, we just can't stream it live.
And make arrangements so that our users are not misinformed about what our coverage is going to be from the show this morning.
We're issuing a statement to our audience saying that we're really, really, really sorry, and we're going to have the on-demand versions for you, and we'll go back to streaming live as soon as we can.
2 minutes, I am leaving. In 1 minute, I am leaving.
This is the day. Okay, we've got one schedule, so at least you could look up your appointments. That's good.
So, you know what, without further ado.
You got to hit the little thing that's like.
How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. Came over here. They closed the garage for some reason.
don't know if it's full or what, but they closed the garage, so that meant we had to actually drive around and look for a spot to go to. There's a gentleman that's sitting at that back table.
We will be eating lunches on a loading day outside. Okay, it's just way too many people and you get fresh air.
So we're gonna have that at zooming in?
Yeah.
I need to take this.
All
It's
right.
PR.
Good luck, buddy.
All right, thanks, man.
Essentially, Ricardo is our conduit to the industry. Ricardo's the guy who can talk to any game company, field any sort of question, and just make stuff happen.
So we're politicking as we speak, as I speak, rather. And try and promote the video on the highlights page as prominently as you can.
Thing out. For now. So that's down.
David told me interrupting.
Baseball at 10:05. We got Mitch with 500 at 10:25.
We have you down at 10:30. Is that not?
No, because I was told 10:30.
Well,
okay.
Can you wing it?
We got a problem with Metroid Prime Punches. I can't do it, so I'm trying to slide something else in.
Everyone.
I'm heading up to the developer thing.
Like let him go with it because it is interesting, or wait, or what do you think?
Playable at 5:30 in the morning. Go ahead.
Great job. You're like one? Yeah. Like eating that.
Tom just told me the Prime Runners fell through.
Yeah.
He's gonna swap in a Dom.
Oh, cool. Right on. Dope. Okay.
I just had to tell him that like Prime Runners fell through. Actually, oddly enough, Prime Runners fell through on our show too.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa! Slow down! Slow down! Hi!
Just giving me shit.
Funny. Oh, honey, they do, not us.
What do you think that this E3 will sort of be remembered for? Use your news editor vision and kind of look into the future. What will we say about it Friday and
Stand out of the aisleway.
This was the year the big three introduced their new systems for the next generation of business.
I appreciate getting on the other side of the door.
Yes. They just opened the doors and everybody just ran in.
Oh, people, relax.
It ain't going anywhere.
Really?
Which is really handy, you know, not having to wait in that line out there, because those people, when they stampede in, man, no joke, they do not stop for nothing. It's bananas.
Here's our entrance. Let's go right now.
All that.
I saw an opening and you gotta snag it.
I like that.
That used to be me, so I can certainly sympathize with rushing the floor with no legitimate reason and just coming to play all the games, you know?
We wanted to do, and we had our own design decisions. So we went back in there and we, kind of reworked it a little bit and decided, okay, one of those big things was space combat. You got to do space if you're talking about Star Wars.
How they let them. But at the same time, if you're dedicated, you can find a way on the floor.
But that's all right. Call me because we love you or if you need anything else, okay?
That's on 32 players on Xbox, 24 on PS2, 64 players on PC. We just announced this morning that we're doing a PS keyboard.
You can read everything.
I know, it's nice. The crisper, it's brighter.
And these glow blue or no?
Yeah, they do.
How?
Oh, when I turned it on, it flashed last time. Maybe it's, it must go off during...
Yeah. That's cute.
That's pretty cool.
Ray, when you are. Check, mic check. All right. Thanks, guys. Hey, man, me and Rich picture over here at the Sony booth. Yo, this place is huge. Oh my God, how are we gonna be able to cover this thing in 5 minutes? We gotta cover it in 5 minutes. I'll tell you what. Yeah. All right, get out of here. All right, so Rich is gonna go check out some games. What's happening? I got NBA hoops.
Is that working?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But, I don't know where the PS3 is. Is it here? I don't know. Maybe Rich is found it. Let's go check him out. What do you got, Rich? Yeah.
She loses everything, and then the rest of the game is so cool.
例えばテキストすごくじっくり読んで、で、その厳密性っていうところの性もすごく。
Japanese gamers, they like to read a lot of text. They like to go into caves and look at the small places.
Hi, I'm Rich Gap on Gamespot Live. Shooting a quick tour of the top of this baby. What's up?
Across this map to get over to where the other team is, and that's pretty cool. So I just gotta wait for this round to end, and then it'll reset.
Is that tape rolling? Now we have to cut it. All right, thanks, Tom. I'm here at the Mark Echo's getting contest under pressure. I mean, if you want to see what's going on, I'll do that contest. That's what we're going to do. Mark Echo himself, he's doing this game by later today. Right now,
I'll be retired then, so I think.
Hang in there, man.
You too. I'm gonna have to ditch you because I'm like 9 points.
Not just yet, just waiting to Second, gonna try to get the third one done, then I'm off to my first appointment in about 45 minutes.
And then I'm going somewhere else entirely with Alex to cover more games in another land far away.
I've got our 1240 segment.
Thank you, Rich. And Justin Calvert is checking in.
For all the pain and all the energy that you put into it right now, the high is indescribable. It is just
what do you think
perfect.
so far?
All lined up, all balls really well. And now we've got the puck on this kind of fun.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
My lord. So obviously this place is the happening spot. Hey man, who would Gamespot.com?
They're on their way, just by the way. Hey, it's good. How you doing? How are you?
Hey, this is definitely for some 360 though.
Doing a demo right there in a second.
Sorry to cut you off, but we're gonna go take our viewers on the rest of the tour.
We got Sony up on stage. They're going to do Shadow of the Colossus, one of the biggest games. This is one of the big ones, yeah. There's the guy. If they got Ron Eagle out here, Ron Eagle, what's up, Ron Eagle? You know it's big. I'm doing good, man.
So far, so good.
A little busy, yeah?
Oh, yeah, dude. We're making the reality of the internet taking over TV.
Well, it's funny. I had my dad actually log on to the webcast.
Oh, really?
Press conference.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
It's
so
like,
awesome.
where can I see this? I'm like, Gamespot. I'm going, check it out.
Do you feel like taking some questions from the audience?
Sure.
Back to you guys.
If you want to see some really cool shit, it's all about South Hall. All the third-party developers are there. There's a gang of stage shows.
We're on to South Hall. We're going to Sega. We're going to check in there. I mean, apart from the whole, internet going out thing, everything's been smooth sailing since then. We're actually going to cut through here, so it's kind of like bumper cars. I'm kind of baffled by it and also a little disturbed.
Well, it's not a Gamespot camera, is it?
You gotta talk shit, man.
Where's my hat back up? The Mac.
I have no idea who that was. I don't know where I am. I'm in Cheyenne, Wyoming right now, Sergeant. All right, so Sega's back this way. Before the show is over, I will steal Giant 50 cents. That is coming home with me.
There's two things about me you gotta know.
I don't know, but I'm gonna find a way. And that shit is loud. This'll be fun. Head over.
So let's do this.
Well, we're on time, so.
Just off the show floor. We're here to see Unreal Tournament 2007. Yeah, we can sit there. Okay.
Are they here with you now?
Yeah, right there.
Okay, hold on. Let's play. What's up, man? Good to see you. I don't know whether you want to wait to get a fresh start or whether
If I could get a fresh start, I probably would be.
Yeah. You want to do that?
It's real hot, so I want to see as much as I can, you know?
Okay.
We also have
as far as the actual 360 hardware itself goes, you know, what specific kinds of stuff are you doing to really take advantage of that?
Or just be part of the buzz. Beyond that, you know, it does give us the opportunity to do things. Some of those things you may have seen before.
We do ask that you not take any video of the
Guys will have different things to say as the story progresses. Since we're now in this urban environment, we're blowing up environments now, and that's really exciting, of course. You can use paintball weapons and fight a company level fight. He's also got tanks, so you can drive a tank. And if you wanted to come, I can get you an invitation. It's something you'll never forget. You're gonna get to drive a tank, dude. It's gonna be huge. All right.
All guests, all media personalities have to leave, except us because we count as exhibitors. We have our own booth, so technically speaking, we can take them all down. We're not going to.
It was fine. They were running behind for a while anyway, so I think I just get out of the schedule.
Okay. Oh wait, there's great.
You should eat something while there's still food.
You go.
I'll start.
There you go. There we go.
Choppy center, smooth end.
E3 is now closed. Please make your way to the
Everyone come back tomorrow, but until then, stay on the site and watch all of the hundreds and hundreds of movies we put up about
It was good to see the Xbox 360 stuff. It was the first time I'd been able to grab one of the controllers for that thing and get a feel for it. The controller feels really great. And the games look pretty good too. You know, it's like you got to figure the games aren't finished yet, and they're only going to get better. And right now they look pretty solid. So, you know, those games are fun.
They're pretty good. Doing all right. I'd say, at least for me, today hasn't been as stressful or as hectic as the past few days. Just because now it's like the tools are in set and it's just sort of doing it. And these guys have given me plenty to promote, so it's been good.
6 million streams.
Kind of back and forth. Thank you.
Yeah, totally. Huge.
See you tomorrow.
You did well.
You did really well.
How many did you get today?
You did really well. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
You did really good.
It's fun, but it wasn't.
Oh. Yeah. We have to be at some place at 7. We're gonna do some taping, and then gonna come back and write.
Disc that we got. It's supposed to be an asset disc, it's actually a game.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. The Predator Expeditioners. It's Thursday.
I can see cracks in your facade. You're resilient. I like that.
What? Let's take a look here. The hot stuff is
Twilight Princess, Metal Gear Solid 4, Killzone 2, Ninja Gaiden Black.
That's how I like to roll on E3 Day 2.
Look out, you're gonna get back. You guys go. It's the running flag. Hey, relax. It'll still be there. Come on, man, you can slow down, man. What's everyone running for? Hey, they're going somewhere.
No clue. I'm serious. No
Seriously?
Yeah.
It's to see the new Zelda, yeah.
Oh, okay.
To see the new Zelda. And play the new Zelda. Yeah.
I'm down with that.
If you're a Star Wars fan, you'd have some idea of what's going to happen. Like, a lot of people are going to die.
And now Ryan has a demo for us. We're going to jump right in.
Where am I looking? I just look at you like running. That's a great time. It's always fun at E3, that's for sure.
Right on, that's awesome. So, you guys have been on this team.
This is my third year as a producer, so yeah, I've been doing it for a little while now.
Right on, so why don't we just jump right into it?
I can't confirm or deny anything either way. Departure from last year's game, you'll definitely see some new things. So.
Right on. Thank you so much for coming by, Ben.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
It was good. Ben was awesome.
Thanks talking to you. I'm sure we'll be talking more in the future.
Totally. I don't know, man.
Come back! Walk around here again? Walk up.
We're going to try to do some kind of like tournament, little competition thing. But the other problem with that is I need a game.
We can go over to South Hall. That's on the table over there.
Were you not recording before? Is that why I had to recap? Yeah. You know, I can see the little light.
Probably heard the negative buzz that on Angel of Darkness.
Yeah.
We did too.
Right.
Classic Tomb Raider, Vista space, a large space.
It's going to offer a little bit more to those people as well.
Cool, man. I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to get their hands on this game and play it.
He's around. What was the final score of that game?
How's that line? To follow up to the, I can't even describe you the words what it looks like, but it's really, the horror is...
This game is not great.
こっちずっとこっち向いてればいい。ずっと俺はここに今こっち。
As the touchscreen, the microphone, those capabilities giving you a lot of new ideas for game design.
Got to talk to Yuji Horii yesterday, which was really crazy and fun.
Hi, man. What's all the buzz right now? What is the thing that's happening at E3? What do you think's the biggest thing?
It's the Dragon Quest man. He's the man who created the series.
The biggest thing is the PlayStation 3. It's like everybody knew the Xbox 360 didn't show up and it was going to be what it was going to be. Sony said that was actually rendered real time using the PlayStation 3. If that's the case, I mean, you saw it, right? That looks as good as anything we've seen from Toy Story and from Pixar and all those guys.
Can we go in there? Sit down? Gotcha. Okay, I'm here to talk to Inaba about Okami. It's by the beautiful Joe guys. It's being shaded to look like a watercolor picture. How's it going? Good to see you. Joe Diaz.
splitting the lower screen of the parts back and forth will result in
全部ひっくるめて新しい VFX パワーが登場したビューティフルジョー DS のその要素をうまく活かしたゲームっていうのは今後も作ってみたいなとは思ってます
designed for DS by using dual screen and so she would like
What do you ever want to do for the GameCube? I'll grab Okami. What do you ever want to do for the game?
ゲームキューブで狼をいつかしたいと思ってますか？
ゲームキューブでっていうのはないですね。
Levels of randomness and actually rarity play a big part in every aspect of the game.
It could be another, really addictive hack and slash game like Diablo. We'll have to wait and see.
We've got IGO Numa coming today with Zelda for a live demo on the show.
Any mention name?
Big ticket items like that, you just want to make sure that you're there to make you feel comfortable.
Characters that she encounters. So we've had to introduce some new ones. There are some from the past as well. You'll be introduced to a new.
In a lot of ways, this next segment is the whole show. This is the biggest thing. This is the biggest game here at the show because it's Zelda. Zelda is the biggest thing in the world. And this is the guy right here. This is Numa. He's the guy that makes the new Zelda games. He is one generation away from Miyamoto, and we're going to be giving away something to our Gamespot Complete members that's signed by Miyamoto and him, which is insane.
Morale is high as we speak.
Miyamoto's the guy that made Mario.
As I can imagine. You have about a minute left.
His hand will have touched something that I will have touched.
Like when it's coming out.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that.
Actually, it's been a really good show today. In all honesty, I think it's smooth and we kind of hit our groove. Excuse me, just a sec.
Everybody's got the flow, the feel. It's been popping, just constantly popping.
Things that are just much more impressive.
So Numa's going to have the giveaways.
Okay. And what do you have to say to anyone who may have lost faith in the
Okay, cool.
Tomb Raider series?
How do I do that?
First of all, I understand.
It was really good.
By the time you get over about the 3 o'clock hump on the second day, it's like we're posted. So this is good. As the creator of Zelda is going to be talking about Zelda on stage. I mean, everybody's going to crowd around to see this. We probably should get off because they need to do this thing. But
How long does Link play a cowboy before he actually gets into the adventure?
前回ウィンドウェーカーでは水は透明度なかったんですけど、今回透明なんですよ。ですからまた水の神殿というものを作ってたりします。
Right on. Now, there's two portions I saw when you guys loaded the demo.
バージョンはFirst goes to Link, Wisdom goes to Zelda, and there's one more piece that's power, and that goes to the third character. So people maybe have this kind of
Makes sense. Now, I don't know if folks at home can hear that horn blowing, but that's signaling that the fact that the day is over. So before we go and sign off, you guys actually brought a couple very special presents for a couple lucky Gamespot Complete members out there, correct?
今日は2つのベストプレゼントを持ってきましたよね。
Right on.
How many bees are there in that nest?
That's awesome. That's totally awesome. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Everybody here, the crowd, everybody can't wait. We're all really excited. Thank you. That does it very much for us today. You saw all kinds of good stuff. This was great. Thank you once again. We'll be resuming our live webcast from the show floor here at E3 2005 GameSpot booth. Join us again tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. We'll be doing it all again tomorrow. Thanks a lot, guys.
show.
See these?
Now we're gonna take a quick picture of you guys.
Sure.
That'd be great.
The show's closed, so no one will be able to get to the demo. So tomorrow morning, there's going to be people running for that demo to figure it out, and they'll get these.
All right, here we go.
This is good and comfy.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Hey man, you guys got the micro right there?
That to me was like, personally, that was like a highlight of the whole GameSpot Live era. You know, seeing that happen today.
Is there going to be anything tomorrow that'll be anywhere near that level? Do you have any things up your sleeve?
What are you going to come up with?
There's all kinds of stuff.
Good.
It was a good day.
Didn't have to use my AK.
I had to a little bit.
Out. 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 Cut.
It's Friday morning, GameSpot Live's final day.
It is so the last day. It's like I've been running a 3-month marathon, and I'm about 7 hours away from the finish line, baby. Don't let me forget we gotta pull out those lightsabers today when we get out.
It's actually over there, but they told us not to get on the carpet until the floor is open.
Day 3, it's like the last day of school. Even though you're exhausted and you're tired, there's like this sheer giddiness because it's like, it's all gravy now.
Take that fan away. No, it looked like it was pouring out the front of this machine right here. Day 3.
There are a couple of huge lines you want to avoid. If you can be the first one in the door, you don't have to stand in line for an hour to see the PS3 or Zelda.
We've been, here all day. Exhibiting.
I knew you were coming back and it decided to kill itself.
I'm going to go see the Legend of Zelda game again. This is the greatest game ever.
Can't take another day.
Actually, see PlayStation 3. Not really a game, but the whole thing, yeah.
Hey, you get the day off today. This is the last day too, so you know if you don't see it today, you ain't seeing it. You know.
Zelda.
Let me see. I already tried Zelda, so most likely I'm going to be going to Soul Calibur.
I was telling Ryan McDonald that at this point it would take the booth blowing up to ruin our E3 coverage, and sure enough we get in and a computer right in the middle of the booth starts smoldering.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy, huh?
A hunk of burning love.
It's all queuing, isn't it? It's all queuing not every day. I mean, it's really busy.
Trust me, the line is already crazy in there right now.
What fire? One beef is flying around. That's my guess.
Well, get ready for the race of your life, man. All right. Track shoes on. Run, man.
Hey, hold on, slow down. Slow down, homeboy. Chill out. You know what I'm saying?
Take it easy.
Go, buddy, go!
Actually, no, everybody's there. PS3.
There, you guys can drop by there anytime today and they'll take you to the booth.
Tell a little bit about how that game was in real time. Like it'll straighten them all out. A copy of it usually does that.
Yeah.
And whoa, someone needs to find their phone. Well, that wouldn't be any different from a normal day, I guess.
Thank you very much.
4 to 5 hours at this point. It's like the biggest thing in the entire show. If you don't see it, you didn't go to E3. Yeah.
And then we move on to the next one, and they've got midget wrestling with strippers on the...
Mini Kiss.
What was it called?
Mini
Kiss. Mini Kiss. Oh yeah, there were...
People stay overnight to see Star Wars. We only have to stay 4 hours to Zelda. It's not that big a deal.
The thing about Friday is that the whole industry has one gigantic collective hangover. What happened with the Sony party last night?
Oh, look, zombies. Look at the zombies.
That dude makes a great zombie. This has been the E3 of zombies. I don't know if I've told anyone.
The concepts of evil and injustice are irrelevant. This is a mission.
Yeah, all right.
Knowledge is fundamental, people. You learn, you are sin. It's a good thing.
Hi, Gamespot. We love you. We love you.
I don't know, dude. I just don't know anymore. You know what I like, dude? I like games. I like it when you can sit down and play a game. I'm not so big on the moves and excessive musical performances and loud everything. That's less my thing. The games, though. Din of just the nonsense in there. It's just kind of like soothes your soul just walking out here, just kind of getting a minute.
Mayhem down there.
To build up your energy again, and you go out and you fight. It's actually really cool.
So let's go ahead and share a little bit about what's going to happen up here on the stage at 3:30 today.
Yeah. What do you got going on?
You're going to be here, right?
Yeah, no, I'll be here.
That's when the nostalgia starts to kick in. Like you can already start to imagine how you'll remember the show.
Yeah.
Share our songs.
Yeah, it's been a thoughtful show.
You know, like all the headaches, all the frustrations, like in the past.
I know that the future is bright. It's going to be into mobile gaming, and I certainly am, but wait a couple years. It's going to be ubiquitous on the scale of or larger than mainstream gaming at this point.
How crazy we get with the stats, but we've been doing pretty good. A lot of people watching, a lot of people checking out the pages. It seems like our site's running real smooth.
All right, thanks, ladies. I'm going to throw it back to food.
Gun porn. Gun porn.
Gun porn.
I think that kind of sums up what this show really is.
Totally. Yeah. Totally.
No, I'm fine, I think. I've been wired up and it's working pretty good.
I'm Gamespot. It's telling me that everything's
It's just one of the funniest things you'll ever see in your life. If you play World of Warcraft, Jenkins! Leroy Jenkins! That's all you need.
That.
Leroy? Leroy Jenkins?
It's my buddy.
Internet celebrity. Yeah.
My friend in Massachusetts, he has no way of knowing what we're talking about right now.
Oh, somebody just aimed her with Leroy Jenkins in aim while we're talking about it. Apropos of nothing.
So basically, we're gonna move on.
Are you gonna let him play this new computer that you and Paul about to present you with? Absolutely. Here you go. Thank you.
Take the button, mash and phone. We got a load.
Can I get a finger? Who wants a finger?
Can I get one here?
Thank you. Yeah, congratulations. Can I get one of those?
325!
Gamespot Live's live coverage of E3 2005 continues.
Dude, I thought you killed it.
Now, Laura, what we got on that?
We've got a little competition here at McDonald's. We're going to be kind of singing off for you guys. Don't stop.
What do we just see?
That was absolutely amazing.
Inspiring.
Totally inspired. The final out, E3 2005. We got a quick edit check-in right now. Then we're going to go and go out for the wrap-up show.
In the pixel. Gamespot editors. Trying to catch an appointment. Bring you in exclusive.
They want you to throw stuff.
I want to start right here. We got all sorts of banners. There's our little logo. We'll see you on stage day 3. I'm out.
Games here on the show floor. We covered them all. Here we, Greg. What about? They're talking about the big 3. They want to know, you know, Sony. You got Sony, you got the PS3. What are your guys' thoughts? I mean, they blew things out real nice in that press conference. That was really impressive. It was the talk of the show. I think once the show actually got started, there was definitely some disappointment that, like, none of it was here. So, like, if you're, you know, if you didn't get into the Sony press conference and if you weren't, like, watching our site, you didn't get to see any of that.
The fact that there were actually Xbox 360 games on the show floor, like initially after the Sony press conference, you thought, oh wow, they just, you know, stole the wind right out of their sails. But then you come to the show floor, you can actually go and play full auto.
So what about the one that was not really shown off that much, the Revolution? What do you guys think about? You guys expect to see that box when they pulled it out, or?
That's the big question. Is that the Revolution is definitely the wild card now in the gameplay race.
You know, people want to know what platform won. It's like, I'm inclined to say it's the DS. It's
For
like
real?
that system has the most playable games that are cool, that are like all in one place.
We have people wondering too, do we know the answer to the Zelda trivia question from yesterday? We have a winner.
Yes, we do know the answer.
Yeah.
Numa had developers actually take time out of their busy E3 schedule to go and count bees so that they would know exactly how many and be correct. So,
And the answer.
we're not going to
give it away yet.
You
So we don't
got
have
to
a
tune in
winner
next
yet.
week, right?
Thursday.
So Brian, you see any sports games?
Yeah.
That's the next generation of consoles, because it's like, yeah, that probably turns out to be true. So let me cut you guys off. We're about a minute away from the show closing. As you all know, the power goes down, the internet gets turned off. So here's to the best E3 we've ever had. Thanks to everybody watching. Your questions helped us do this, as well as everybody here at the video game show, known as E3 2000.
Send that over. I like that.
Yeah.
God, dude. Fucking awesome. So bad.
Ryan and Run singing.
No kidding.
I was laughing so hard I was crying. It was awesome.
I'm sorry I missed that.
That's cool. Hey, somebody else for it. We gotta be safe. You gotta grab it. Oh!
Here, where's your desk?
Ryan's glass.
So you guys have a good E3, have fun E3. There's just so much stuff out there.
Hell yeah.
I'm terrible at being like a celebratory type of person, so.
You want to see the biggest anticlimax of all time? Watch us pick all this crap up.
So heavy. So heavy.
It's over, yeah. Well, sorta. Still got some stuff to write.
I need to go take pictures of my big vinyl face before they take it down.
That was nice. I was in a nice air-conditioned room when the show ended.
And it was worth it. I mean, we hit the show big, and I don't know. I guess we'll find out when we get back home, when the dust settles. But I think we did real good. He's got something to say.